Pop quiz! Who was the first presidential candidate to be assassinated? That's right, it's the prophet Joseph Smith. What happens when a prophet runs for president? Well, in 1844, Joseph Smith, the founder of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, threw his hat into the political ring. Dang, politics and religion, we're gonna have fun with this one. But this wasn't just a publicity stunt, it was a bold, detailed platform, which we called Joseph Smith Thought, and it was filled with some pretty good ideas for a better America. Let's unpack what he believed and why he decided he wanted to lead our nation. So, by the 1840s, the Latter-day Saints had faced persecution in multiple states, literally being ordered to be exterminated in Missouri. And they were also suffering problems in Ohio and Illinois. Joseph Smith had tried to appeal to governors, judges, even the president, Martin Van Buren, and he said, "Your cause is just, but there's nothing for it." And so, he came to a conclusion. If no one will protect the rights of our people, we'll elect someone who will. Now, Joseph Smith's platform wasn't just, vote for me, vote for me. It was a vision of a moral government rooted in scripture and the U.S. Constitution. His political beliefs were forward-thinking and covered 6 major areas. He proposed, number 1, the abolition of slavery, but more of a gradual thing where you would sell public land to buy the freedom of enslaved people, avoiding war or rebelling, and compensating slave owners to reduce their resistance and avoid, like, a civil war. You know, break every yoke, let the oppressed go free. Smith thought that the federal government should intervene, that strengthen federal power to protect rights was a key tenet, that people should intervene when states fail to protect people's rights, especially religious minorities. He wanted the president to have emergency powers to dispatch troops when mobs attack the community. And in the city that the Latter-day Saints held, it even included specifically Islam was protected under the religious freedom, which that's something you wouldn't often see in early America. And then he also believed in economic justice. He opposed unchecked capitalism and corruption, like monopolies. Smith wanted, 1, a national bank with secure currency, limits on congressional pay, because when a bunch of people keep on getting rich, they want to keep their jobs, and they don't really care about the little guy. And then the elimination of monopolies just entirely, and speculative finance. So, stock market. He also, number 4, wanted the criminal justice system to be reformed. He believed that in rehabilitation over punishment, especially for debtors and non-violent offenders. Prisons should be about reform, not getting your revenge or waiting for the local county mob to go and kill you. Now, one of Joseph Smith's biggest points was religious liberty for all. Despite founding a church, he fought for all faiths to worship freely. That meant no state church, but also no persecution. He once said, if I had the power, I'd protect the Quaker, the Catholic, the Jew, and the pagan, which they weren't really the most liked groups in the United States at the time either. Another unliked group were the Native Americans. Rather than forcing them to leave and, Trail of Tears stuff like Andrew Jackson's policies, which became the norm, he supported creating states where Native people could govern themselves under U.S. protection, an alternate to those violent policies. Now, Smith founded the Reform Party and sent over 300 elders to stump for him across the nation. These missionaries weren't just preaching the gospel, they were campaigning. But as the movement grew, so did opposition, as well, according to his religious beliefs, opposition grew. His political enemies saw him as a threat after the power that the Saints hold in Illinois and the major voting bloc they were, as well as with some of Smith's beliefs being more public as a presidential campaign, even a small local one brings. And so, for that, and a lot of reasons, he was murdered by a mob in Carthage jail, ending Joseph Smith's political career and his life. So, Joseph Smith's run for presidency was pretty short-lived, but his political philosophy still echoes. He taught that faith should inform conscience, but not control the government. His belief in liberty, reform, and protection for the vulnerable laid groundwork for how the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints now would later support freedom and civic engagement. So, yeah, Joseph Smith's run for president, and in a way his platform was one of the most radical and reform-minded that the U.S. has ever seen. All right. Let's not get too crazy in the comment section here, boys, but be honest. Would you have supported Joseph Smith in 1844 with these beliefs? You know, make sure to like and subscribe. Special shout out to my favorite Patreon, the strangely set narrator. He's the best. I love that man. If you would also like to be loved, make sure to go follow me on Patreon, and we'll have a good time. Anyways, goodbye. Also, make sure to subscribe.